Is he knows everything, bringing you that heat and a fart. All right, y'all, let's talk about it, man, because we got to delve right into it. What you guys have to understand, and you guys are seeing it, and I got to talk about this shit, but it's the truth. We're going to talk about Chris Broussard, but we're going to talk about Shannon Sharpe and Chris Broussard and why Shannon Sharpe is mad with Russell Westbrick of Russville. It's the things that make you say, It's the things that make you say, Why you mad, man? Why you hot and bothered like grits? Why you insecure and miserable as you know what in your life? The bottom line and the simple equation behind it, and it's very understanding, is Russell Westbrick of Russville was a guy that you said, well, they're going to get Russell Westbrick of Russville. LeBron's going to manage him. And you basically mimic LeBron James. Oh, his cerebral, his brain power is going to have Russell Westbrick of Russville right. You said that. You believed it. You unctioned it. You thought it. You hence and therefore and thereby ran with it. But he knows everything told you that wasn't the truth. He knows everything told you that was false. He knows everything told you that there was no equation behind it. And that the only variation and the only aspect that you needed to run with, which is very clear, which is very understanding, and which was very in line with everything, was that Russell Westbrick of Russville has always been what he's always been. A Russell Westbrick of Russville. He knows everything, told you guys this. But did you listen to Mr. Cold-Hearted? Did you listen to Mr. Unadulterated? Did you listen to Mr. Cutthroat Telefashion? Because if you did, you wouldn't be in this precarious situation that you're in right now. See, what people have to understand is he knows everything, always has the thumb, the wave, the needle, the curve, and the aisle of the damn situation in front of him. And what did he see in the wave? What did he see in the thumb? What did he see in the curve? What did he see in the aisle of the damn situation? He saw that Russell Westbrick of Russville has always been what he's always been. A Russell motherfucking Westbrick of Russville. Look at this guy. Look at the way he plays basketball. Look at his turnovers. This is not a guy that LeBron James, if he's trying to compete against Brooklyn Nets, he was going to have on his basketball team. Russell Westbrick of Russville, if he's not going to do anything, I'm going to tell you what he will do. He will shoot himself out of a situation. Russell Westbrick of Russville will always find a precarious situation to try to stand out in a way that he thinks works for him. Because he's a Russell Westbrick of Russville. How many times I have to tell y'all this? How many times do I have to bring this up? How many times do I have to sit here and have this conversation with you guys? Russell Westbrick of Russville has always been what he quintessentially will always be. A Russell Westbrick of Russville. That's why I call him Russell Westbrick of Russville. He has his own village. He plays basketball like he's in his own village, not belonging to a basketball team, not symmetrical to the needs of the team, not harmonious to the climate of the team, not linear to the heartbeat of the team. This is why he's Russell Westbrick of Russville, because he plays the game the only way he knows how to play the game. Hard, his way or the highway, and he's in his own ville playing basketball. Well, let me explain something to you guys. Basketball is not an I game. It's a team game. People get that Michael Jordan reference twisted when Michael Jordan said, when Tex Winter said there's no I in team, and Michael Jordan said there's I in win. You have to understand the full gravity of the win of what Jordan is saying when he says I in win. Jordan's not talking about I in team. Notice the difference. Jordan said I in win, meaning the way that he wins with a singularity. He wins with an I. He wins with just him. There is no team in him winning. There's just him winning. You fucking get it now? You understand what Michael Jordan is talking about? When he's talking about closing games out, he's the one closing games out. So there's I in him in closing motherfucking games out. But he's not saying I in team. Because Jordan's not stupid. He understands that basketball is a motherfucking team sport. And that because basketball is a team sport, basketball requires for those 43 minutes for the team aspect to be in its equation. But the last 5 minutes of the game, because it's a 48-minute game, there's I in fucking win. Well, Russell Westbrook is I in team. He is the full variation, the full aspect of what Tex Winter was talking about. There is I in team with this guy, because when this guy plays basketball, he plays basketball as if it is I and not the team. The team without I does not exist. That's how Russell Westbrook of Russville plays the game. It's sad, but it's the truth. It's sad, but it's reality. And all the faker fans are getting, starting with LaFraud James, starting with LBJ Riders Media, starting with LBJ Brigade, starting with LBJ Stans, starting with LeBron Tards. They're learning, oh shoot, this is the bullshit and the fuck shit that Kevin Durant was dealing with this guy. Now we get it. Now we understand it. We actually feel bad for Kevin Durant. I have LeBron fans come to me now and say, man, I thought it was Kevin Durant, dog. This motherfucker right here just don't listen. I told y'all. There are some basketball players, they just don't fucking listen, man. There is no amount of leadership. There is no amount of getting in their face. Some basketball players don't give a damn about all of that. Some basketball players just want to let you know when it's all said and done, they're going to be who they're going to be no fucking matter what. And that's Russell Westbrook of Russville. Y'all just learning it now. Y'all just getting the quintessential message now. Y'all figuring the shit out now. Y'all understanding it now. But he knows everything been told and telling you guys. This guy right here is a Russell Westbrook of Russville. I done told y'all. If y'all would have listened, if y'all would have paid attention, and if y'all would have sat there and girded up your damn loins, he's a Russell fucking Westbrook of Russville. I mean, how much do you motherfuckers don't want to understand this shit? He's a Russell Westbrook of Russville. That's what it boils down to. When we're dealing with Russell Westbrooks of Russville, we have to tell ourselves about these Russell Westbrooks of Russville. Russell Westbrook is a Russell Westbrook of Russville. This is a guy you can't take seriously from a basketball standpoint. This is a guy from, when we look at basketball itself, when we look at the pedigree of the game of basketball, this is a guy who's always struggled. Because Russell Westbrook of Russville has always been what he's going to quintessentially be, a Russell Westbrook of motherfucking Russville. And I had to go dark on y'all. Intricality and deceptions are powerful agents to the uninitiated. But we are initiated, aren't we, Bruce? We have to talk about this stuff. We have to talk about it. Because when it's all said and done, Russell Westbrook of Russville is that. He has brought his team to an intricality and deception. But in his instance, they are not powerful agents to the uninitiated. They are actually weak agents to what we would say the initiated. Go ahead. Because other basketball teams are initiated by the simple fact that Russell Westbrook of motherfucking Russville is what he is. A guy that's quintessentially a Russell Westbrook of Russville. So you guys have to get it. He knows everything now, explained it to you guys. That when it's all said and done, this is not a Kevin Durant problem. I done told y'all. And you don't want to know why Kevin Durant was the blueprint? Because unlike LaFraud James, who has to have the ball in his hands to give you a similitude as if he's efficient, but lacking the fullness thereof, and ball clogging for 23 seconds, that was always going to be even worse. Because how do you have two guys that have to be ball dominant? How do you have two guys that have to have the ball in their hands? How do you have two guys playing together that have to basically clog up the possessions? There's only 24 seconds on a possession. It's not like these guys are holding the basketball for 8 seconds. They're literally holding the basketball for 23 seconds. This is how you know the difference between a Kevin Durant and a LeBron James. Kevin Durant plays off the ball. And for Russell Westbrick of Russville to give him problems, and he's not even the one with the ball in his hands, it's a things that make you say, It's a things that make you say, But what it tells you quintessentially, what it tells you unequivocally, what it tells you emphatically, and what it tells you without fail, is that when it's all said and done, Russell Westbrick of Russville is always going to be what he's always going to be. A Russell Westbrick of Russville. How many times he knows everything has to explain this to you guys? How many times does he knows everything have to break it down to you guys? It's a simple science. Russell Westbrook is everything that's wrong with bad basketball. Russell Westbrook is the definition and the embodiment of how you do not play the game of basketball. That's why I always got on that guy. And then the fakers, because they want to compete so bad with the Brooklyn Nets, they go and pick up Russell Westbrick of Russville. Woo! It's a things that make you say, It's a things that make you say, So what did you guys think? You thought this experiment was going to work? Maya Angelou said it best. When a person shows you who they are the first time, believe them. So why didn't you believe that he was an issue with Kevin Durant? The first time you saw this motherfucker was when he played on OKC. And what did he show you guys when he played on OKC? He showed you a ball hogging, ball clogging, ball basically what we would say dominating, a ball issuing, a ball erroneousing basketball player. And you thought a guy like this was going to take it to the next level? You thought a guy like this was going to be part of the next equation? You thought a guy like this was going to get the fakers over the hump? The Los Angeles Fakers would have been better served if they would have looked at Damian Lillard's way. I'm going to say that again. They would have been better served looking at Damian Lillard's way. They fucked up when they didn't get Damian Lillard. Big time. Because when it's all said and done, that was the guy they should have had on their basketball team. See, basketball is a symmetrical sport. But basketball is also a sport that requires having the right pieces ingratiated and interwoven into it. When you don't have that, Houston, we have a fucking problem. And Houston did have a problem with Russell Westbrook and Russville. You see the irony in that? No fucking pun intended, but it's the truth. Everywhere this guy has gone, he's been a problem. With OKC, Sam Presti had to realize, well, damn, I made the ultimate mistake. I should have stayed with Kevin Durant. Motherfucker, it took you that long to figure that out? Then he goes to the Houston Rockets. James Harden has to be the one to not play the way that he was playing. And he has to find himself in a supplementary role where he's playing shooting guard. All because Russell Westbrick of Russville cannot change his game. All because his game has to be fine-tuned to the way that he plays basketball. You see where I'm going with this? I'm trying to get y'all to put 2 and 2 together. I'm trying to get y'all to add this shit up. I'm trying to get you motherfuckers to see basketball for what the fuck it is. When you're dealing with Russell Westbrick of Russville, because I gotta ride a little bit on this one, you're gonna find yourself in a precarious situation. Why? Because this guy right here is not that dude. The fakers, it foot bompuyo, that's Haitian Creole. You wanna know what that means? That's what y'all motherfuckers get. I'm gonna say that again. É football puyo. You want to know what that means in Haitian Creole? That's what you motherfuckers get for not listening to Kevin Durant all of those years, for not listening to He Knows Everything, and not listening when we told you guys that this guy right here is the worst thing that you could put on your fucking team. That's the cold-hearted. That's the unadulterated. That's the cutthroat truth fashion. I keeps the foot on the whoop. Eggs. I keeps the foot on the whoop. Eggs. When it's all said and done, He Knows Everything had to break this thing down to a simple science. So you Rudy fucking poo and plum brains, classic fucking dotes and troglodytes, ultra fucking fanboys, ultra fucking fangirls with the ultra fucking fan boy and fangirl rhetorics can get the message that Russell Westbrick of Russville is not the guy that you need on your team. He's actually the cancer of your team. This is He Knows Everything. Check it out.